You know, every time I start rolling with the video, it magnifies twice as close. I don't know why it does that. There's got to be a setting for that. But anyway, I'm getting ready to put this 9.5 back together. This is the third one I've done in a month. I got the power head rebuilt over here. So I'm getting ready to set it into the pan. Just want to go over real quick basically what these motors have to put together. The design they have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of these screws. Phillips head screws, the special screws I was telling you about. They go there. And then in the top, there's one here. And there's one here. It's just a regular hex head bolt that holds the top of the pan together. Other than that, it's just, you have 2 mounts in the front here. There's 2 screws in the mount that comes through the front pan here that hook up to the front mount on the block. And then there's 2 screws that come up to the bottom and bolt the swivel mechanism to the pans. So you get 2 screws there, 2 screws there, the 5 specialty screws on the pan, 2 hex on the top, and then you put it together. And everything else just hooks up around it. So the next thing I'm going to do is going to hook up the motor to the left-hand pan. What I do is I'll guide it in here first and put a nut on it, and that should hold it pretty much so I can bolt some more stuff to it. So we'll get back to you. Also, another tip is there's a bumper that goes in here. The factory doesn't glue them in, so when you take the motor apart, they fall. A lot of times you lose them. But I glue the bumper back in, and there's 2 more little round bumpers that I glue to each side of the midsection. There's one and one to the other side. I use just Permatex and I glue them in. But again, when you first take it apart, they fall out. Just be aware of that if you ever take one of these motors apart. A lot of times you lose them. It's always good to glue them back, so when you put it back together, you don't have to worry about them falling out. Just another additional tip. So now I'm going to set it in place, and once I set it in place, I'll get back. Well, I got the power head in place here in this clip. Pretty much I just set the rubber boot down below into the recess of the pan, then stand the power head up vertically, and just put the rubber mount through the pan on the left side with the acorn nut and washer on there. And then I can start bolting everything else together. Then I'll put the opposite pan on the right side, and I'll explain that a little bit more into the next clip. But this stage is pretty easy right to this point. The second video, I think I showed you how I started putting everything back together. But I want to show you where I stand now. I'll give you an update on what I did. Pretty much done with the top end. Got everything buttoned up. Actually, all the little things take longer than putting the power head back inside the pans. But I just want to go over a few things, what I did. I got a makeshift idle adjust here now, for now, until I can find myself the proper lever. I'm going to try the original fuel pump, see if it works. If it don't, I'll just put a Chinese pump on it. I got spark last night. I took the points out, polished them, got the spark back. The biggest problem getting back to putting the pans on, which I didn't discuss too much in the last video, was when you put the right side on, there's a lot of linkage up in this area that you got to kind of clear. It takes a little finagling, and then you got to hook up all your gear shift linkage. I just recommend if you ever get one of these motors and you take it apart, take a lot of pictures with your cell phone, especially the linkage in the front, how things go. Because it's been a while since I've actually done it myself. I think the last time I tore one down was I don't know, 3 years ago. I tore one totally apart, but I didn't put it back together. I might do that one next, actually, and get rid of that one too. But back to this one. I got everything pretty much done. Everything's hooked up. Now I got to build a gear case, or maybe I can find the original gear case for this. I might have it, but whatever it takes, I'm going to get the gear case on there. I haven't tried to start it yet, so I'm going to do that. and take it from there. But this is the update. I got the motor all the way back together. Everything's all buttoned up. Every bolt that came out went back in. I also, what I like to do in a lot of times is just clean the threads out with a tap, and no matter what I'm doing, where I'm at. I spent probably about a half hour just fixing this tonight, just before. I couldn't get this screw out here. It was really stuck in there. I couldn't put heat on it because the nylon piece is right here. I finally did get it with the impact driver and used a vice grip to get it out. And then I had to battle this. The screw was broke flush. So I had to heat that up. Once this was out, I could do that. And get the broken threaded part of the bolt out from the back, going counterclockwise enough so I can grab it in the front. That was a fiasco. But this, that's what you got to do with these frickin' things. It was all about is outboard motors, is the patience to fix them. And you got to like it. I always say that over and over. You got to like it. If you don't have a passion for it, you're not going to like it, just like anything else. But that's pretty much where I'm at with this thing. Everything's all back together. And we're going to take it from here. I'll probably work on the low unit tomorrow, hopefully. Got cold here quick, too. I put the heater on low so you don't have to hear it blasting. The thing really blasts. I got one of those portable, actually, yeah, it's a DeWalt, 70,000 BTUs. It heats this double car garage up in about 15 minutes. But anyway, this is the latest on the outboard tinkerer. Getting close. This thing should be running pretty soon, in a few days, hopefully. And weather's supposed to get back into the 50s in a few days, too, so that'll be nice during the day. And see if I can get this baby going. All right, thanks for watching. And stay tuned. The Outboard Tinkerer signs off again.